5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sicily is calling Svallbard Islands. Sicily is calling Svallbard Islands. Svallbard Islands, can you hear us? Hey, Svalbardians, can you hear us? Islands around the world, let's join together. Over and out.
We are in a place near Greenland, almost 5,000 kilometers from Sicily, the Svalbard Islands. Let's see what these island brothers have in common with us Sicilians. At Svalbard, the sea is the Arctic one. Brrr, how cold. Nothing to do with the Mediterranean Sea. We have caught an Italian Svalbardian, Michael Lonardi.
Okay, so hi, I'm Michael. I have lived in Longyearbyen for 1 year. Longyearbyen is the capital of Svalbard, this archipelago in the high Arctic. So I've been working for the Meteorological Institute there. No, I've never been in Sicily. Actually, is probably a bit too warm for me.
Well, you can always come in winter and throw yourself naked on the snow of Etna. Therefore, in ancient Sicily it was believed that going north after months of navigation, one arrived in the mythical land of Hyperborea.
Yeah, I mean, there are northern lights, you can see them. The first time I saw it, it was -10, and I went out in a sweater with a cup of hot chocolate, and I realized that I was freezing. The chocolate was frozen, but I was still looking at the northern lights. And 2 months after that, I had seen so many of them that I was walking in the middle of the street. There were northern lights above me, and I was not caring because I was like, I've seen them every day. Who cares?
Here we are in Longyearbyen, the capital of the Svalbards. Hi there, we are from Sicily and we are on a mission to twin all the islands of the world. Michael told us that those are the northernmost supermarket and shopping center in the world. Actually, the landscape is a little different from Sicily, but you could make a nice fish market like this one in Catania.
So after 1 week in Svalbard, I had the feeling that I've never seen wind before.
Here in Sicily we have the scirocco, that when it arrives from Africa makes us all sweat. And then, every now and then, on Etna, strange wind games form a hat of clouds on the head of the volcano, which is called the Countess. But listen, Michael, is this story about the bears true?
So it's not something that we have to be scared about, but that we have to be prepared about. So the idea is that we have to avoid the encounter. So if we meet a polar bear, we have to turn back and go home, or anyway leave what we are doing in that moment. There are 3,000 polar bears, which means that there is a polar bear for every person. But they are not, of course, in the same spot, and they move alone or in small families, so mother with 1 or 2 cubs. I have a really funny picture for that. Here, I was with some friends going to do some measurements out in the field, and we were carrying our rifle to be safe. The first point is to shoot in the air, and for that you have a signal pistol, so that just makes a big light, a big bang, and that should work, but it's not guaranteed that it works.
Well, we at Splendid Sicily are curious too, since we enter as soon as we see an open door here in Sicily. But we don't have any beers, I don't think so. but we do have a lot of lizards that lie in the sun in the summer. We can't make an exchange with beers, too difficult.
When I started to be there for longer, I saw that people were recognizing me in the street, and even people that I've never spoke before to were behaving friendly to me. So one evening I ended up having a dinner with someone from the local sports shop that I don't know who is this person. It's quite easy to get friends with people when they know how long you're staying.
Here, also the Sicilians, as good islanders, are really friendly, like Svalbardian friends. Here is another point we have in common.
Yeah. So this red building on the left is the church, and you can access the church any time of the day and of the night. So if you want to go there at 3 a.m. in the night, you can totally do it. And it's particular because there is no official religion to it. So even though it looks like a Christian church, you can go in and pray whatever God you like.
Very good, Michael. Then a nostalgic Sicilian from the 5th century before Christ can also pray to Zeus in there, or the beautiful Core, our goddess of spring.
There are no trees, yeah. There is actually one species classified as tree, and is something like 5 meters tall.
In Sicily, instead, there are monumental trees, even this one in Sant'Alfio, on the slopes of the volcano Etna, is the biggest chestnut tree in the world.
Yes, so these colorful houses are probably one of the most famous pictures of Longyearbyen. They are very characteristic. They are just houses, so nothing in really particular.
They are very cute, Michael. I would see them very well in one of our seaside towns. For example, here among the alleys of Cefalo. And at Svallbard, we could put one of the hundreds of towers that are all along the coastal perimeter of Sicily, once a defense against pirates. Yes, let's take this one from Pozzallo to Longyearbyen.
I have to say that most of the time I was cooking, or I was having one of my friends cooking. We were sharing the kitchens. So that is an opportunity.
La pasta l'hai fatta tu?
Yeah,
Hai cucinato per i tuoi amici?
not,
Come l'hai fatta la pasta?
yeah, no. Well, I think that more or less I have given them every type of pasta, plus some experiments that I don't dare to tell you because
Michael, then try making this pasta that the lady from Montalbano Licona cooked for us at her house. Tagliatelle with fresh mushrooms just picked by her husband. For pasta, we rule.
strange things. Well, probably the strangest is kind of expected. People going in January, February, March, so when the fjord is frozen, go in the middle of the fjord, dig a hole, and take a small, quick swim.
Brr, it's very cold. Like ice. In Sicily, instead, you throw yourself into the seawater and you never get out.
You can see the center of the city with the majority of the buildings, and the mountain on the back is Zuckertoppen, mountain of sugar, actually Sugar Top mountain.
We have Monte Formaggio, which looks just like grated.
It's from October to mid-March, and between the 20th of November, so from a couple of days ago, and until mid-February is completely dark, so 24 hours of darkness.
It's a local actually. So. Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is it so?
Yes, yes. 20 past 2, yeah.
And what do you do now?
Uh, like basically, I just, like, I don't know, studying or doing some stuff. I don't know, just cooking or.
So this is one of the places where you can rent snowmobiles in winter. Of course, in summer looks a bit strange without the snow, but in winter is completely covered with snow. So you can rent the snowmobile there and then drive to the valley and explore the island.
Okay.
So the yellow truck is from Svallbard, the most iconic bar on the island. This thing that looks like a chicken house is the place where you can leave the letters. So the post boxes are inside those thingies.
Okay, it's a deal, Svalbard. Twinning it is. We bring the delicious honey from Sicily and give it to your beers. Then we also bring the Tower of Pozzallo and the fish market of Catania. And we also bring the Castagno de Cento Cavalli and we put it in place of your microscopic tree. And you bring us those colorful houses and the northern lights. Bye bye, ciao ciao.